browsing YouTube, and I've seen tons of these cool little mini boats and skiffs and whatever you want to call them. That looks fun. I have a really big boat. It doesn't go the places these mini boats can go, so therefore, I need a mini boat. But I went to a boat show and I found out they were way too expensive. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna build one here at home. We're gonna build it out of cardboard because I'm an idiot. So we're gonna make this boat out of cardboard that I can sit in, put a gas motor on, and fly through the water. So cardboard, pretty lousy material, but I have some ideas on how we're going to make this work. First, we're actually going to lay this up and double up some of these cardboard stringers that are going to go across the boat. It's going to hopefully hold this thing together. I'm also doing a lot of experiments because of my future build that's going to be taking place, so a lot of this is just testing for some different building styles and how the material handles. So we have to make this boat pretty strong, so what I'm going to do is between these vertical uprights inside the hull, I'm going to actually add this cardboard pattern because we're going to have to stand on this. I'm going to have a lot of people probably be on this thing, so I want it to hold up for at least a little while. To make this boat last more than just a single day in the water when it gets soggy, because nobody likes soggy boats, I'm going to be using Total Boat epoxy. Should make this thing waterproof and hold up. This inside should not get wet. If it gets wet, this project is a failure. I'm taking a little bit of gamble here, and I didn't really epoxy coat everything on the inside. I'm building this thing kind of like a box. It's a literal box with no innards. Hopefully does not leak. Okay, now it's time for a little bit of cheating. Even though the boat is majority cardboard, the deck on top, I have very, very little hopes cardboard's actually going to work for it, or at least not hold really that long at all. So I'm going to use a little bit of this really light 1/4 inch plywood I got for like 13 bucks at Lowe's to really make the deck at least very deck-like. We're also going to fiberglass it too, so we're kind of getting a little away from the cardboard, but hey, if I'm going to waste all this time and effort into this big boat, I want to make sure it kind of lasts for a little while. "12 hours later, ooh, that's pretty solid. I feel pretty confident in that. As long as I don't hit anything hard, it'll be fine. Is that foreshadowing? I don't know. It's now time to sand some of this fiberglass. However, fiberglass sucks, but I made this thing out of some garbage, some filters and some fans. Tighten up the clearances so this thing works really well. But this is like a mobile dust collector, so I don't have to wear a respirator while doing this. Check it out. Pretty neat. Works pretty good. So here's a novel idea. I didn't want to do any sort of like stringers or bulkheads or anything really, really sturdy inside the boat because I wanted to take a lot of horsepower and go fast. So I'm going to make this metal frame to absorb all this horsepower and be a good mounting bracket for a lot of other things because I have one more fun idea we're going to do in this video. It's only like day 3 of this build, but we also need to finish up the bottom, so I'm going to put these little wooden runners in to really make sure the boat tracks straight because I know a lot of these skiffs generally have these little runners to kind of guide the water back and keep the boat from slipping and sliding all around when you're trying to drive fast in a straight line. This sucks horribly. I put this wax paper down so I can clamp these wood runners down, but unfortunately the wax is melted because I put this out in the hot sun and wow, it's a disaster. It's not going well. Now that the metal frame is done, it's time to add some wheels because I'm going to make this thing amphibious because amphibious vehicles are always cool and this is going to do that too. Now we have to mount this rail to the boat. I just got to drill a bunch of holes and we're good to go. The trick with drilling holes is to make sure you get some lubricant. I have some Boeing developed lubricant. I think it's wax. It makes drilling so much easier. I have these cabinet screws because this is obviously a cabinet. So I had the wood from earlier, so now we put the screws into that and that gives us a solid connection because I don't think we can actually put metal to cardboard very effectively. I got this 2-stroke Mercury, 15 horsepower from Facebook Marketplace. Seller said it ran, so we're gonna slap it to the back. It's actually a 15 horsepower Mercury. Let's take it to the lake and see what this thing can do, because I'm way too impatient. Well, it's sinking yet, but that's not really a surprise. Only time will tell if the cardboard gets soggy. We're going. So it's a new boat, a new motor. I don't really know what we're doing, but let's just get this thing going. man, for some cardboard and epoxy, sure seems to be floating pretty good. Once it starts rolling, it rolls.
It's not very nice to your butt.
Yeah, it's a flat bottom boat, so don't expect much in the comfortability department when it comes to waves. Alright, I have to say it works really, really well for a carport. I mean, I haven't really driven any skiffs around, but it seems to do small boat stuff, like going fast in a straight line, and, well, it turns okay. But hey, it's a flat bottom boat, can't really expect that much. Let's take it back to the shop and finish this build up. Alright, well now the fun part. When I built this thing, you may have noticed there's some weird stuff I put on the boat, and that's for a good reason. Because not only is this going to be a cardboard boat, it's going to be a cardboard amphibious boat. So we're going to go add some wheels to it now so it can drive around. It's now time to add the wheel. This wheel kind of sucks. The problem is the mounting. I don't know when you mount this thing how you're ever supposed to take it off. So I made this. This is going to bolt together. We have to go drill the hole. But then that should allow me to bolt this in so I can take this wheel out for maintenance. So let's go drill some holes in this thing. This ended up being a pretty good design idea, I think. Only one way we'd really find out. We're gonna have to use it some. I'm gonna build this fork for the front wheel. We're gonna mount it so that we can drive this thing around. It's a trike. All right, we're done welding. Now I have this scooter bit that goes on the front. It also comes off like this for the boat launch. But then line up in the pin, drop it in, and now turn it on. Hopefully it doesn't explode. Mobile bed frame. This is a hub motor I found off of Amazon for like $300. It's for a wheelbarrow. Oh god, it has this horrible aggressive braking. Yeah, it's weird because it's like a wheelbarrow you push, but then you let off the throttle and then it locks up. So I have to be careful about this thing, but for the most part, it seems to work pretty good. It's gonna break something. We should do that. So we gotta paint this raw steel, and then we can finally assemble this thing. I'm also gonna flood these holes in the boat with epoxy, because it's basically like an actual box with this metal frame on top. So there's really no holes or innards or anything like that, because I think that's gonna be a great way to keep this thing watertight, or at least waterproof, because I don't want any water inside. As long as any water doesn't go inside, this boat will be great. It's off to Florida now. But I can't resist testing this thing tonight, so we got a simple trolling motor. It's an old Torpedo that's kind of busted, but hey, it might work. Backup trolling motor, which is this little brushless one I got from Amazon with a lithium battery, and it's off to the ramp. I'm gonna drive this thing in. I'm so excited to try it out. Can't leave home without these. Gotta have nav lights if I get pulled over by the water police. They're gonna have a field day with me with this thing. So far, so good. Alright, we're coasting. And there's the water. Alright, looks like we got power. Now we just go. We're a boat. Oh man, this is really dark. You guys can't really see anything. Okay, well that was fun, but I'm curious. Is there still water inside of this thing? I'm gonna crack it open and see if there is or not, because that's gonna be bad if water does stay in this. Alright, moment of truth. Let's see. Is it wet? Oh, it's dry. That's good. It's kind of frothy looking though from the Corrosion X and grease. So I greased this motor ahead of time because I really didn't think this is gonna be waterproof, and I didn't see any gaskets or anything really sealing it. So obviously it's not gonna be waterproof. On second thought, I better tilt this to make sure if there's actually no water in here. Oh no, there's water. Oh no, there's so much water. So check out all this salt water. Gross. Well, nothing I can really do about that, except spray more of this in there. Let's finish up the skip so it looks cool for the thumbnail. I got this EVA foam mat thing from like a bid site. I won it for like $50, so that's pretty sweet. I put these cleats on. And the cooler with rod holders that everyone has on their boats. I got a trolling motor on here right now that we're gonna put that.
All cardboard?
It's all cardboard.
Fiberglass cardboard?
Fiberglass cardboard.
And a frame.
And a frame, obviously, because the steel part is necessary. Because without the steel part, I don't feel no confident attaching stuff to cardboard. It's not going to work. So let's put that motor on there and let's go have some fun. Great, let's take it to the water in the daytime so you can actually see something. Man, this boat's doing great. I can get into all this skinny water, float over anything, and it's lightweight. I can put on this trolling motor if I just want to be electric, and I can put on the gas if I want to go fast and catch it to my big boat. Yeah, the big boat's done too, so if you haven't seen the video, go check it out. That's not me driving the boat! But we finished the big lobster boat. This thing is being a great support vessel for that big boat. You know, maybe the skip is better for the birds, because, you know, they're using it more than we are. What the hell? These weird-ass birds. Alright, we're on this skiff, but guess what? My mission is almost accomplished. There are shrimp out here. Bro, we can catch these shrimp totally. But we have the wrong net. Oopsies. I'm gonna get me a shrimp dinner one way or another. There he is, the shrimp. The shrimp. Alright, there's one right there. Grab. Look at that boy. Yeah, look at that. Man, we can even catch these crabs. We can float over the seagrass at night. And look at all these crabs we got. This thing ends up slaying crabs. We've got so many good crabs.
This is so much fun for being cardboard.
I know, it's cheap too. I tell you what, like, I enjoy my big boat, but this little boat is totally fun. You can really do whatever you want with a little boat and go anywhere. It's great. I have to say, this skip is a total success. It's freaking awesome. It draws such little water. I can basically get anywhere, wherever I want. And if I can't, I just simply get out and push it. Got the little brushless trolling motor. The gas motor is fun, however, I think I have more enjoyment just using the slow trolling motor, just checking out the underwater sea life. And this thing drives out of the water. Oh no, my lousy well broke too. Did it really? Yeah, it broke. So I gotta figure out a solution for this. So, partial success? Is that my weld? My weld ain't great, that's for sure, but the steel kind of pulled out too.
Like this much off.
So this boat's been pretty great so far, except for the motor wheel failing, but hey, you know, it was just a prototype for a test amphibian. But you may be wondering, the video's only halfway over. You want to know why? Hey, don't hurt my boat. Because it turns out cardboard is not a great material for a core. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, there's water in there. Oh no. Somehow, some way, water got in the middle of this thing and it's starting to get soggy. Oh, it's wet. It has no structural property anymore. It is now completely relying on the fiberglass. Now punch a hole in that. Griffin, it's collapsing under your own weight. What are you doing? Was building a boat out of cardboard a good idea?
For Peter Streeple, absolutely.
I still want to make this thing work because this was a sweet boat while it lasted. But right now, I need to get my parts back out of this because I don't want this to be a complete disaster and complete waste. That was only one. What? Where'd the booms go? Hey, it's pretty good. Cardboard fiberglass really absorbed all that bang. That total boat fiberglass is pretty tough. To give you that, just basically unzipped. So here's the problem. I want a useful boat, and the summer's not over yet. I want to make it a better amphibian, and we need a boat to do that. So let's rebuild this project. I'm going to use foam because foam is a way better core material rather than soggy cardboard, at least soggy once it gets wet. Let's buy this foam, and we're going to recycle as many things as possible. I'm going to reuse the steel frame because it's the perfect shape, and I really like the dimensions this boat was. It's going together really, really fast, framing together in literally just a day. Some shaving with some knives. Man, this is way easier and way better. I'm feeling so much more confident about this build. So now it's time to fiberglass. I'm using this 45-degree biaxial and using even more Total Boat epoxy. To make the boat a little different, we're not going to stand on top. We're going to stand inside of it a little bit, but I'm still going to build a subfloor to stand on. And we're going to recycle the top. I'm not going to throw away the plywood we used in the initial build because that would be a waste of money, and it's already fiberglass on one side, so slap that bad boy on and we're ready to go.
Hey, are you okay? You sound kind of rasp.
Haha, very funny. Couldn't find my knife. Also, I decided to spend even more money in this stupid video, which I really shouldn't have, but hey, this is a 6 horsepower Chinese ripoff of a Honda or a Suzuki or whatever, I don't know. It's cool, but I couldn't resist buying a new motor for this boat because I wanted a lighter, smaller 2-stroke. Alright, smoke stroke, let's see if it starts. Yeah. So I guess I just let it do this for a while, and then I take it to the lake and slowly run it at low speeds for like 8 to 10 hours. Smoky stroke. We're going to finish up the boat with some Total Boat wet edge paint to cover everything up. I'm rebuilding the boat now. However, I'm building it for a really good reason. PCBWay reached out and wanted to help sponsor this build somehow, and I'm like, okay, sweet. Well, PCBWay does a lot of stuff online. They usually manufacture PCBs. However, I'm interested in their CNC services. They can CNC stuff like aluminum, stainless steel, brass, copper, titanium, and carbon fiber. I'm going to be using them to CNC these aluminum boat brackets in this CAD model here. To get a quote is really easy. You just upload your file to the website. They'll give you an instant quote, and you can just order it like that. And in a few days, it shows up at your doorstep. Once I got the part, I'm super impressed with this. I even made one mistake with this CAD model. I countersunk these holes for these screws for obvious reasons for this part. I accidentally countersunk the hole inside here, which I have no idea how they machined this countersunk. They were able to accomplish my drawing even with mistakes. Overall, I'm really happy with these fantastic parts. They're going to work great in this boat. So huge thanks to PCBWay for manufacturing and making these aluminum parts. There's no way I would want to do this by myself or with my own CNC machine because this is a large part and it was fast as far as the machining time and turnaround. Check out PCBWay today for your one-stop solution for CNC, 3D printing, and more. Be one of the first 40 to use the discount code PCBWay-PeterSchriepel10 to get $10 off orders over $30. Be sure to click on the link down below to find out more. Alright, the Super Fork is done. It's a lot thicker steel because I didn't learn my lesson the first time. So this is the new steel we've got. That's this part, which broke. It pretty much got ripped in half. So it's basically double wall thickness, so this should be stronger enough, especially with the redesign on the back of the cart or boat, rather than the wheels being at the very aft of the boat. It's sort of like closer, so now the outboard, rather than putting stress on this fork too, is actually counterbalancing me because it's on the other side of the fulcrum. I also replaced the braking mechanism because the other controller sucked really bad. I think it was also part of the reason this thing broke because it was so aggressive with the stopping. It was twisting the fork and constantly fatiguing the metal, and eventually it just broke, especially at the boat ramp when it was just started going backwards and I tried to hit the brakes and obviously it locked up. So now we don't have that function anymore. We have a smooth electronic brake, which if I press this, oh, it's not strong enough. Well, actually it's moving at this pace. Oh, yeah, just go faster so it creeps along without full lock. Just isn't too bad. Now that it works much better, it's time for boat float redemption.
Oh, that's deeper than I thought.
It's off to the lake and we're gonna see if it's gonna break again. Okay, we made it to the lake. Let's scoot this boat off. I'm actually not going to launch the boat. I probably could launch the boat, but hey, I'm gonna do this stupid thing where I slide off my boat trailer because I don't want to put my boat trailer in the water. Now we're gonna put on the wheel because this thing is much lighter. It's actually not that hard to handle. It's maybe 60 pounds by itself.
Dude, this is awesome.
Okay, we're gonna hit the water, hold the brake, and okay, that's very uneventful. It's so much better than it was last time. Because this is a scooter brake, it doesn't lock up fully because you don't really want a scooter to lock up with you on it. It simply just slows down to a walking pace so you can still control the scooting, but in this case, the rolling, and we just roll right into the water. To come out of the water, it's super easy. All I do is set the trolling motor to the slowest trolling speed, set it for dead ahead, slip on the wheel, and give it a little power as soon as it touches the ground. It just hauls itself out of the water. Now, this thing does still kind of suck. It definitely needs some improvements. Maybe we do a V2 of this in this near future, because this motor is only rated for 350 watts, and it's geared down inside. It's got a planetary gear. However, it still seems to struggle coming out of this boat ramp. With only me in it and maybe this 80-pound boat with everything in it, it struggles. So with 2 people, it struggles even more. And 3 people, well, let's forget about it. And we've got a new boat. Oh boy, it looks so good, and it's way better. Look, it coasts now without breaking itself. It's now foam and fiberglass, so it's way less disposable. I also registered it because I had to, so now we can use it as a boat. Over here, I re-welded this thing because my welds were obviously too crappy and the steel was too thin, so a lot thicker steel this time. I really burned it in, so hopefully it doesn't fold up again. Thanks to PCBWay, we have the new aluminum parts. These are way better, CNC aluminum. Very, very nice. They fold up, pull the pins, boom, wheel comes out. We also got a different motor on here. I couldn't resist getting a lighter 2-stroke engine because the other one was like kind of overkill. But you know, it's great for going fast. But this one's probably gonna stay on the boat. we're in the water, we push the front wheel down and pull it out. And going to the back, we simply pull these pins out and slide the wheels up. These PCB parts are really, really nice for this.
It's getting real wet up here.
Okay, let's get out of the water to some other parts of this lake. On the boat ramp, you got smooth concrete, but can we try this on gravel? Okay, no, this thing definitely sucks. I think the weight displacement is a little bit too high on the front wheel. I think I need a fatter tire and definitely more torque. I think it ain't got enough real traction for this, so maybe I need fatter tires. Well, it works on the boat ramp at least, so we're kind of halfway there. Maybe we'll do like a double bogey style in the front, where rather than the single wheel, I have two wheels side by side that can help disperse this load. But anyways, that's for a future project. Okay, so here's how it drives. So here's the steering. You have your throttle. So it goes. You have your brake. Your brake doesn't brake all the way. Your brake just slows you down to a walking pace. Make sure you use this if you start going down the ramp really fast.
How fast is too fast to hit the water?
We've got a sweet boat here. It drives out of the water pretty okay, but it goes in the water super fast and super fun, especially if you don't use the brakes. Handling as far as a boat goes, it's pretty much a flat bottom skiff. It handles kind of like the previous one did, that was all cardboard. This one's just a little bit lighter, and especially with this lower horsepower motor, it still gets on plane and gets up to about 13, 14 miles an hour, which is really good for 6 horsepower, but that's to be expected with a flat bottom skiff like this. It's definitely a lighter motor, so I'm probably gonna use it more with this, because if I use this thing as a tender again in the future, it's nice to have a motor you can just take off and just manhandle around, because this motor doesn't weigh a lot compared to the old Mercury that was on it that I got from Facebook Marketplace for 600 bones. This is about the same price, but a fraction of the weight, but it's also less horsepower.
The bottom one?
Oh, I forgot the wheel. This project is very fun. I've really enjoyed working on this boat, sort of, except for the cardboard one, which is more of a fun experiment, which the experiment was sort of a failure, but some lessons learned, and plus I got to recycle all the parts from it into this new fancier, lightweight foam skiff. So maybe not purely cardboard and fiberglass is enough for building a boat. I mean, maybe it is, but you have to make sure you really waterproof it. But in my case, I didn't do that good of a job, and it was kind of a waste of time. But what's not wasted time is this new foam boat that I have for all sorts of experiments in the near future. So I'm glad I have this new amphibious vehicle that looks to be a good support vessel for all sorts of projects when my big support vessel can't make it out to help me with projects. If you guys want to see some improvements to this thing, leave some comments down below, and I'll probably implement them on the third video because I have an idea for this thing. It maybe involves an airboat engine. In case you guys haven't followed me around for a while, I've actually built another boat prior to this one that's all electric, that has more cardboard than this. Spoiler alert, that one was a failure too. But it was really cool because it was really fast. So if you want to see that, check out this video here.
Nice.
You like to ride, dude?
Are we boat or are we car? Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
We gotta take this thing to the drive-thru. We have to do that.
That would be fun.
Drive, get a order a meal, like,
There's like the movie Jaws.
That'd be fun.